Damon, yesterday we had a mom call about her adolescent. I don't know if it was a male or female, but she called asking about children or young teens watching pornography. So I know that's something that you've worked with a lot in the past.
Yes, and I typically find out that these teenagers or 12, 13 years old, the first time they've seen online pornography is around the age of 8. And when they come in, they present with a lot of shame and anxiety. I think it's really important that when parents discover that their teenagers are looking at pornography, that they not shame them,
Mm.
uh, because that is going to fuel this addiction, and they are going to become more secretive,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big problem with this particular compulsive behavior.
Yeah, and I heard a great lecture at the ITAP symposium about 4 years ago. And what they call that for kids is that it's a super stimulus. So at the same time that they're really drawn to it and it makes a powerful impact on their brain, simultaneously they're repulsed by it. And you would think that the repulsion would make them not want to go back, but actually that adds to the intensity and the excitement, and so they feel compelled to go back and continue looking at pornography. Now, I also have heard you talk about gaming and
Yes.
what's going on the game consoles.
Well, on the game consoles, that's also the same vehicle that they're going to use to discover pornography. And they're in the same neuropathway. They're in the arousal neuropathway when they're looking at pornography, and it's the same neuropathway when they're gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets fused in together. So now I've got someone that whichever one they're doing is going to lead to the other.
Ah.
And that's a huge problem.
And so, one of the things that we talk about is addiction interaction, and that's certainly going on with adolescents because they get gaming and watching pornography fused as a compulsive behavior.
That's right.
And so, they can't do one without starting the other. So, one's like a trigger or a setup to do the other compulsive behavior. Makes it really
Yep.
hard to quit.
Very difficult. And when they come in, and I tell parents, if you once you start to pull their access away from being able to get online and game, their irritation is going to go up to a level that you cannot imagine. And some of the stories I've heard from parents is having to get the police involved because they became so unregulated.
And very anxious too. It creates a
Hmm.
lot of anxiety as well.